slow down, give yourself permission to be okay doing that. This isn't going to last forever. Eventually it will shift, things will change. It's just for now, it's not forever. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be doing the video that you guys voted on. I posted a poll to my YouTube and my Instagram, and by a landslide, this was by far the most popular poll that I've ever ran, and this video won by a landslide. Like, I think I tallied it up. I think the total was like 80% or something like that voted for this video. So here we are. I am sure if you're clicking on this video, you may be someone that is currently struggling with your mental health. I know there's so much going on right now and it can feel very scary. At least I know for me, it's very scary because everything's so unknown and there's just a lot to process. I know a lot of what people are talking about right now is how to keep yourself healthy as far as physically. I also think it's really important to be sure that we're talking about your mental health as well, especially if we're being stuck and quarantined inside and really limited on what we can do and how we can help our mental health. So the first thing I do want to say before I jump into this video, two things. First, I hope you are well. I hope you are staying healthy. I hope you are either finding videos like this one to check out to kind of help you stay sane during this process. I hope you are staying healthy, and I hope your loved ones are healthy and well, and I hope you guys find some value out of this video. I definitely am a little bit nervous to talk about this because I know it's a very sensitive time. I know it's a very sensitive subject right now, but obviously you guys want to see this video and I want to share it with you. So I wanted to say too, like when this whole thing happened, just to be totally transparent with you guys, I had a solid probably 5 days where I was not sticking to my normal routines. I was not working out. I was not eating healthy. I was overeating. I was oversleeping. And those are things that I tend to do when I'm very, 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 very stressed. I'm sure you can relate, but it just kind of felt like the rug just got pulled out from under everything. A little bit of background, I'm not currently working right now because of this whole situation, as I know many people are, and it's just a very scary time. And I think now more than ever, it's so important to come together and to just share kind of what's working, especially when it comes to mental health, because something like this can easily just be triggering for your mental health. And if you're someone like me that struggles with anxiety and depression, it can be a lot. So anyways, with that being said, here are my 20 tips / self-care for the quarantine edition, I guess. I don't know what I'm gonna title this yet. We'll figure it out. First thing I want to talk about is adult coloring books. I picked up this one at Target. My roommate and I are coloring in it right now. Let's see if I can find hers. I'll show it to you guys. It's really pretty. I don't know if she can hear me right now, but I like this book too because it's got a lot of really like inspiring quotes. There's a new quote on every page. They all have very uplifting and inspirational quotes. Coloring can also be very meditative. It can help calm you down if you are struggling with your anxiety, feeling your thoughts racing. It's very therapeutic to sit down and color. I know it sounds kind of funny, but it's very, very, very helpful. The other thing I like to do with this is you can also do like drawing if you don't have a coloring book and you don't / can't go out to get one. There's all kinds of things you can find on Pinterest. Like I did a lot of mandalas when a couple years back. That was kind of my thing for a while. And that's so easy. You can literally start with just like a circle in the center of your page and just like draw lines and shapes going out and then color it all in. So therapeutic. Super easy to find kind of those doodle tutorials and then you can color it in and it's the same thing. There's an idea if you kind of don't have access being able to go to the store right now due to the social distancing, and that's that. So number 2 tip that I have is to limit your alcohol, your junk food, and your caffeine intake. I know that there's a lot of memes and stuff like that about drinking and just kind of engaging in that type of activity, but if you are someone that struggles with anxiety or depression and you're really working on your self-care and your mental health, all 3 of those things can actually worsen the effects of anxiety and depression. Just be aware of that as you're kind of going through this. If you are excessively drinking, eating really unhealthy food, or kind of overindulging in caffeine, that can all contribute to worsening your anxiety and or depression, or you know, any feelings you have. Any kind of negative, anxious feelings you have, that can worsen those things. So just be aware of that. Be mindful of how much you're consuming to help you not worsen what's happening. Tip number 3 is to move your body. This can be anything from yoga to working out at home, even like running outside or having a dance party, whatever you want it to do. So right now I'm doing a Pilates and yoga program at home. There's so many videos on YouTube. You can find pretty much any kind of workout you want to on YouTube. You can look that up. Or like my roommate and I played Just Dance last night. That was so much fun. We were laughing a ton. It was awesome. So you can do that. Or even just turn on your favorite songs and just dance around in your room. It like that, even just getting your body moving will put a smile on your face and inherently lift lift your mood. Tip 4 is to stay connected. So FaceTime your friends, FaceTime your family, make plans. Even though we can't go out and we do have this social distancing right now, we can't actually socialize in the normal way that we tend to do. It's like you can still socialize. So make plans, make a phone date, have a girls' night, have like a virtual happy hour, maybe with mocktails or something if you don't want to be drinking alcohol like I mentioned before. Do something so that way you're still seeing people. I usually spend like an hour just kind of talking to my parents or friends or whatever, FaceTiming during the day, especially because my roommate is an ER nurse, so she is gone a lot right now compared to like what most people are doing, staying social that way. And then even like, so my birthday's on Thursday. Clearly I can't do what I normally do. I usually go out to eat with my family. Those plans aren't happening, but I'm still doing, we're doing like I'm doing a virtual birthday party and I'm pretty excited about it actually. I bought stuff at the store. I'm gonna bake a cake and have a virtual birthday party with my friends and I'm pretty excited about it. So just getting in front of people still, even though we can't see them physically face to face, even FaceTiming is still pretty dang close. Tip 5, I'm sure you all knew this was coming if you've seen any of my other videos, but that's journaling. So I have a couple different prompts that I'm gonna share with you guys for the next few tips as well. But the biggest thing that I can recommend is try to rapid log your thoughts throughout the day. So I use my bullet journal for kind of the traditional bullet journal sense, and then I also do long form journaling in my bullet journal. What I'm doing right now is throughout my days, rather than solely focusing on long form journaling because my thoughts can tend to start to race away from me, I'm just really focusing on rapid logging. What this means, if you're not super familiar with bullet journal concepts, is just to basically bullet point all of your thoughts, and you're not judging it. You're not saying, why am I like this? Or why am I feeling this way? It's just noticing these thoughts. So as things kind of pop into your head or you start to get a little stir crazy, I've just been grabbing my journal and I just bullet point it. And even just unloading that onto paper has been incredibly helpful for me to get it out of my head to help my thoughts from not racing so much. That is my next tip, is to just rapid log throughout your day, especially because for most of us, we have a lot more alone time and more kind of secluded time than we traditionally do. And I do have 3 prompts for you guys. I'm gonna look at my notes in my journal just so I don't forget them. The first prompt that I have that will help you if you're really like struggling with just getting thoughts onto paper is, how am I feeling during this quarantine? So I actually got this idea from the Bullet Journal Instagram account. The writer Carol, the creator of the Bullet Journal, did an Instagram live yesterday morning. It was awesome. It was so cool. He did a live Instagram and there was I think 900 people on, and we were all just writing together at the same time. And that was the prompt that he gave us. So how are you feeling right now? And just really rapid logging it. Not necessarily like, why am I feeling this way, or judging it or second guessing it, just jotting down whatever pops into your head. So that's the first prompt. How are you feeling? The second prompt I have is, what am I thankful for in this moment? So something I've started doing, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you might have noticed this. I'm doing a daily gratitude log now on my Instagram stories, giving gratitude and being thankful for the things that are currently in our lives. All of our lives have changed very drastically in a very short amount of time. And I think giving gratitude and being thankful for what we are experiencing in this moment is incredibly helpful. It's made me notice so much more, being acutely aware of like, okay, I know I'm gonna be putting that gratitude log down in my journal or on my Instagram stories, so it's making me see more than I traditionally would have to be thankful for. I think in this time when things are kind of crazy and uncertain, it can be very easy to just focus on everything that's going wrong and everything negative that's happening rather than focusing on what we do have. Things that we wouldn't traditionally normally have shown gratitude for, that I think is important to recognize now that we do have. So that's the next prompt. And then the third prompt, asking yourself, and again, just writing this up at the top of the page, what am I anxious slash worried slash nervous, fill in the blank, whatever you're feeling, like what am I worried about? What am I anxious about? What am I fill in the blank about? What this has done for me, it's really helped me put into words how I'm feeling. I noticed for me, it was just kind of the uncertainty that was making me anxious. Obviously, everything with this virus is nerve-wracking and scary. I think the biggest thing for me is just there's no certain endpoint, and that's what's been affecting me the most personally. And I found that through writing out this journal prompt. So I think it's really helpful to just really get a feel for what is there and just being mindful of that. So you're not trying to change it, not trying to fix it, not trying to, you know, shove it away, but just being aware of those feelings. Those are the 3 prompts that I have for you guys. Those have been really helpful for me. I know somebody asked how I'm using my journal. So those are the biggest things that I'm using for right now, is those prompts. I've been doing those like periodically every couple of days, and then just rapid logging as I'm going. Tip 9 then is to limit your social media slash scrolling slash news. Just limiting all of those things. Will be the first to admit that I was completely overexposing myself to this, especially the first like 24, 48 hours that this all happened. I spent more time on my phone in that 48-hour period than I had in like the previous week. It was insane. Overexposure is a really real thing, and it can make you very anxious. It can make you feel more depressed, more hopeless. Limiting how much you're spending on that. Like what I decided to do was, I do have the like Apple News app on my phone. I check it once in the morning and that's it. And that's only if I feel the need to. I've tried to kind of steer away from it. Honestly, we all kind of know what the current situation is for the most part. We're in quarantine, we're social distancing. It's going to be like that for the next couple of weeks at least. So it's like, what is the need to constantly scroll and refresh and scroll and read all these things? It's not going to help you in any way mentally. Being aware of what you're consuming as far as the media goes, as far as social media goes. I am very thankful that social media is seeming now that it's on kind of an upswing. It was very negative for a while, and I feel like it's very much swinging towards a more let's come together, let's be more of a community and more of a positive shift rather than kind of the negative end of the world kind of a feel, which I appreciate. But still, I am very acutely aware of what I'm consuming and how much time I'm spending doing those things. So that's my next tip. So tip 10 is a spa/pampering session. This was also one of the things that I did when I noticed that I was really falling into a dark place. The first couple days was I just spent like probably a solid 3 hours. I did my whole like extended pampering routine, you know, things that you maybe don't do on a daily basis, like as part of your showering routine or whatever. But I took a super long bubble bath. I exfoliated. I did like just all kinds of stuff that you would do to pamper yourself. I did like a face mask, something that makes you feel kind of pampered and refreshed, kind of get you out of the whole sweatpants and sweatshirt thing. If you're anything like me, I kind of was like that for the first couple days. So that's really helpful too. Tip 11 is something that has been so helpful for me, and that's to spend time in nature/outside. I've gotten into the habit of now, especially now that the weather is starting to get nicer, of taking Bailey out on our daily walks again. I did this 2 times a day for the most part up until it got really cold, so probably November, December. I started doing that again since the weather has been nicer, and we'll go out on a 20-25 minute walk. I have like kind of a route that I do, of course still maintaining the social distancing, but even when I do see people, it's crazy because everybody's just like, oh hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Like so it's nice to even just interact with other people that way. And of course you're still, you know, you have dogs, so it's not like you guys can be super close anyway, but that's been really cool. Like it made me feel less alone, you know, even if you don't have a dog to walk, just taking a walk around your neighborhood, or, you know, going and sitting and journaling at a park or something like that. Again, still observing the social distancing thing, not discrediting or saying not to do that, but we can still go outside. So spending as much time as you can, even if you have like a balcony or a porch or something you can sit on, and just doing that helps. And even if it's just for a few minutes, if it is a little bit colder where you are, it will help, I promise. Tip 12 is to nourish your body. If I'm really stressed out or feeling really anxious with a lot of changes, I tend to gravitate towards like junk food, comfort food, like all the bad stuff for you. And I definitely did that the first 2 to 3 days. But nourishing your body with healthy foods, it's gonna help your body and your immune system be stronger. Your immune system will have a better chance of fighting something if you do start to get sick, if you've been fueling your body in a healthy way rather than just fueling it with junk food and comfort food. And it will also help boost your mood as well. So just putting healthy food into your body and making sure that you're fueling it and giving it the nutrients it needs to help it function at its best, as well as helping your mood. Tip 13 is very similar to tip 12, but it's just to hydrate, making sure you're staying hydrated. So I've been drinking a ton of water. I have my big water bottle that I'm filling up, and this is a 32-ounce water bottle. So if I do 4 of these, this is a gallon of water a day. So I've been really trying to make sure I'm at least doing 3 at the minimum. I've also been putting my fizz sticks in here. I've talked about this a little bit on my Instagram stories. I haven't talked about it much on my YouTube channel yet. I can make another video about that. It's got vitamin B12 in it and a little hint of caffeine. It's all natural, so I've been putting that with my water too. It's kind of like a healthier Crystal Light, doing that to make sure that my body's getting the vitamins it needs, nutrients it needs. I'm still taking my multivitamin. Just really making sure you're nourishing your body to give it the best possible chance, helping your immune system if you get sick. Okay, so tip 14, we are moving right along. Tip 14 is to meditate. So if you're someone that's never meditated before, I would recommend starting with just maybe like 5 minutes to start. When I was at my peak anxiety when all this first started, the only thing that helped me, I actually couldn't even journal because my thoughts were racing so badly. I haven't been that anxious in a really long time. And the only thing that helped me was doing yoga, and then I meditated afterwards. And it was only like in total, I think 20 minutes, but holy cow, did I feel like a totally new person. Meditating has been really helpful, and it can even just be this whole big, you know, grand thing. You can just sit down on your couch or your bed, wherever's comfortable, close your eyes and just take a couple deep breaths. Something that really helps me is just if you count in your head. So you inhale for 5 seconds, hold your breath for 5 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds, and have your eyes closed while you do that. So helpful. And you can just do that, you know, 3 to 5 times, and I guarantee you will feel a little bit more relaxed. If you try it, let me know in the comments if you feel better afterwards. Tip number 15 is to watch something funny. So again, trying to limit your exposure to negative or maybe not so helpful media slash entertainment. I've actually gotten really into TikTok over the last couple days. I had not downloaded it literally up until probably like 3 or 4 days ago, but there's funny videos on there and they make me laugh. And I just saw Step Brothers for the first time. Oh my God, you guys, I had never seen it and I thought it was hysterical. So just finding things that will make you laugh, comedies or funny YouTube videos or funny TikToks, whatever works for you, but just something that will make you laugh. I know my roommate this morning was watching a bunch of videos on iFunny, and I think that's what she said it was called. I hope I got that right. Anything that you can think of that's just gonna make you laugh, because laughing will inherently make you feel better. It will help so much. Tip 16 is to just slow down. I've seen a lot starting to pop up on social media about you have so much free time, think about all the things you can do, think about where you can be. And while I know that that has good intentions and I do believe and support that to an extent, I think that put all this pressure on yourself to, okay, we gotta do more, we gotta do more, we gotta do more. Like, I have all this time, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You're going to make yourself more exhausted and more burnt out and more anxious than you would if you just gave yourself time to just slow down. Why not utilize that and utilize this quarantine and this social distancing time to just take a breath and maybe, you know, do some things that you always wanted to do. Like maybe it is starting a bullet journal and doing something like that, or starting a new hobby or something simple. Most of us have all day right now, unless you are someone that's working from home, but most of us have all day of open time now, which when was the last time that happened? Being aware of the fact that you do have plenty of time and you don't need to cram as much as possible into this time. Just take a minute to slow down and give yourself permission to kind of do whatever you want to do for a couple days. And then from there, you're naturally gonna, like, that's what I did. I gave myself a couple days. Okay, I'm just gonna let myself, I don't know, self-destruct isn't a good word, but like just kind of go with the flow, do whatever I want to do, indulge in the comfort food, you know. But then after a couple days, I came back to it. I was able to take a breath and be like, okay, what do I want to do now? And now I'm creating more content, I'm journaling more, I'm doing more of those kind of healthier, positive things. Really pay attention to that. Pay attention to what you need, slow down, give yourself permission to be okay doing that. Tip 17 is to cook or bake. I am not the biggest cook in the world, but I do love baking. I bought stuff to make chocolate chip cookies. Like I said, I'm gonna bake a birthday cake for myself. And then I am actually gonna bake bread for the first time today. So just doing something with your hands, it gets you really less focused on what's happening and more focused on kind of the task at hand. Especially if you're cooking or baking, you have to pay attention to things, get your mind off of what's going on. So that's my next tip, is to just get moving with something like that. That way your attention's kind of diverted for a little while. That will help too. Tip 18 is to declutter slash organize slash clean something. This was another thing that helped me the first couple days. I completely decluttered my closet. In theory, I'm going to be moving at the kind of end of June. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna declutter my closet. I'm gonna have to start decluttering and kind of organizing stuff anyway. I did that. I pulled everything out of my closet, decluttered the whole thing, filled up a couple bags and brought it out to my car. Obviously I can't take it to a thrift shop right now because nothing's open. At least, you know, I did the whole decluttering thing. My roommate and I like deep cleaned our apartment the first weekend. That alone will help just refresh you and kind of feel a little bit more calmer. Having a clean space, fun fact if you don't already know this, does actually help ease your anxiety. So if you are someone that's really struggling with having a lot of anxious racing thoughts, cleaning something and having an organized space will help that. Okay, last 2 tips here. So tip 19 is to completely unplug. I did this for a solid 20 hours where I turned off my phone, put it on the charger, and didn't touch it again until the next morning. I read an entire book in that time. It was a new fiction book I had picked up at the library a couple weeks before that. I read that book the entire night. I ended up doing a new just collection that I'd been wanting to do in my bullet journal, and I cooked myself a meal. Like, completely unplugging will help you so much. Even if you can just do it for a day, just to give yourself some time, especially if you're someone that's scrolling a lot or reading a lot of news and over consuming, it will help to kind of just step away from it. And then my last tip has been by far the biggest change that has happened for me in the last couple days, and that's to create a new routine. I was very hesitant to do this at first because it kind of feels like I'm accepting what's going on, which I suppose is a good thing, but I don't know, I was really resistant of it for a while. But I had a good routine going. I had a solid, like, I actually had just shared my morning and evening routines on here. A good routine of, like, I was working out, I was, you know, eating at the same time every day, I was working out at the same time every day. And when all this happened, it was a lot, and it obviously shook up what that routine was. When I didn't have that anymore, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? Recreating a routine to kind of create your new normal, getting back to that routine is so helpful. So I legitimately created, let me see if I can find it in my journal. I created a whole new routine that I just stalled everything out, and I said, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what my new routine is, and it's just temporary. You know, I think that's the biggest thing we have to remember is this isn't going to last forever. Eventually it will shift, things will change. So creating that routine for even just for now, you know, kind of thinking that in your head, it's just for now, it's not forever. those are my 20 tips for self-care quarantine edition. I hope you guys found these tips helpful. I hope you found those journal prompts helpful. And again, I hope you are staying safe and well. If you are interested, I am doing a bunch over on my Instagram stories. I'm doing a burpee challenge right now. I'm doing a 30-day challenge to healthy living. So if you're interested in just seeing what I'm doing and kind of following along for more positivity, I'm gonna pop my Instagram up on the screen. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for voting on this week's video. I am gonna be sharing more polls for you guys to vote on the next video. That being said though, I hope you guys have a beautiful day and I'll see you guys next time.